Hey guys, welcome back to my F1 2016 career mode on the F1 2014 game. This is episode 10. Let's get into it. So we're just about to get into qualifying. We're going to have no rain all weekend, so that's going to be perfect for our setup. We're going to be going a all dry setup because we have nothing to lose with it to going wet or anything. So yeah, we're just about to come through for the last turn on our first flying lap. It was a pretty good lap actually. Didn't really make that many mistakes, so it was good. Putting DRS, and it is a 1:24.5, I believe. So we'll see if that's enough, but we might need to go out for one more flying lap. We'll go out for one more flying lap. Actually, no, we won't. We'll come home in pole position, 4 tenths in front of Daniel Ricciardo, our fellow Aussie. So Aussies 1-2 on the grid, and then the Finns 3 and 4, and our championship hopeful, not our hopeful, his hopeful, Nico Rosberg, not even in the top 12. There you go, 13th. That's going to be very disappointing. Hopefully we can gain some points in this race and get that championship to us, even though it's only halfway through the season. We just want to get our decent points as much as we can. As we see our teammates in 17th, so we can't really ask for more than that. Well, obviously we can't. Starting from pole, it's the place to be. So yeah, our strategy is going to be we're going to come in on lap 8 for a prime tyre. And then we're just looking at the sheet again. We've got Hamilton in 10th and Vettel in 11th. So a lot of the front runners further down the grid as they want to be. We've got the Force Indians in 5th and 6th as well. So we'll go out there for the race. Let's get to it. So here we are heading into 5 red lights for the Hungarian Grand Prix, starting from pole position next to Daniel Ricciardo. And we're off. We get a pretty good start, no wheel spin whatsoever. We're going to have Daniel Ricciardo obviously coming in down the inside for turn 1. But we're going to have Perez, no, not even Perez, Hulkenberg maybe coming around the outside. Perez up to 2nd now, going on the outside line. We're going to keep it on the middle of the track so we can defend both sides. Bottas is up to 2nd, so pretty good start by him. We're going to go back on the racing line, and yeah, it was a pretty good start by us. Wasn't really under any pressure whatsoever from the other cars, so it was really good. And now we cut on to lap 6. Now we cut on to lap 6 because nothing had really been happening. We'd just keep growing and growing the gap, and as you can see, lap 6, the tyres are pretty worn out. I don't know why we're holding up the bus there, actually. Driving really slow, but now we've got Hulkenberg behind us, with Bottas in 3rd, and I believe Perez in 4th. We're gonna not be able to block on the outside, and Hulkenberg's gonna go down outside, so he's gonna take the lead of the race. Perez, that confirms he is in 4th. Now in 3rd, he passes Bottas with DRS. So we've lost the lead of the race. We're down into 2nd now, but we're going to look to try and do the crisscross in this turn. We do it well, go around the outside, and we get the job done. We go back up to 1st place, and hopefully we can keep defending this for the rest of the race. But the reason why I skipped on to lap 6 is because nothing happened. We gained a pretty big gap, and then towards that lap 5, lap 6, tyres were wearing out a lot. As you can see now, tyres were wearing out now, going wide in a lot of corners, and yeah, the gap just closed right back up, and I really didn't have any control over the distance of the gaps because I just had no speed in me. So I think we're going to pit next lap, but as you can see, Hulkenberg putting a lot of pressure behind us, so we're going to have to keep going at it and keep defending as we run a little bit too wide going into the third last turn. As we come around this last turn, I think it's 1 or 2 turns, I'm not sure. But yeah, as you can see on the right hand side, our tyres are absolutely cooked. We're going to come into the pits at the end of this lap and chuck on some prime tyres to get us to the end of the race. So hopefully we can conserve those tyres a bit and hopefully put on a big push at the end to try and defend this lead, because we have pretty good pace around here, but just our tyre life is letting us down. As you saw in qualifying, like our 1 lap speeds are pretty good, but yeah, as we come on to the end of that lap, if you look at those tyres, you're absolutely cool. Couldn't do another lap in them. So we're going to come into the pits, put on a set of prime tyres, and hopefully these cars get held up in traffic. Perez stays out, obviously, because Hulkenberg is up the front and he's in, so they don't want to double stack. Yep, so we'll come in and put some prime tyres on, and we get out ahead of them. We have a decent gap. Hamilton stays out as well, so yeah, we come back out still ahead of the pack pretty much, apart from Hamilton and Perez. So we've got clean air for this lap to put in a good opening lap, so we can not catch, but hopefully defend Perez doing the overcut. As you see there, we go wide, so it doesn't really help our situation as we cut on to the end of lap 9, and Hamilton and Perez are in the pits. So we're going to see if Perez comes out ahead of us, and no chance, we are long gone. But I think Perez might come out in 2nd place though, so he's jumped Hulkenberg, so he's done the overcut on him. So a pretty good call. Hulkenberg won't be happy as he didn't have the better strategy. As you see, we skip on to lap 15. Nothing whatsoever happened in those laps beforehand, but we go wide and we go across the gravel, and we've lost our 3 or 4 second lead that we had, and we're going to have a lot of dirt on our tyres, so the next few laps won't be as fast as the laps beforehand, as I'm trying to get the dirt off as much as I can by weaving. But yeah, Perez is going to try and go down the inside, but we block very well. I'm going to jump back on the racing line, get probably a bit too much curb, and we come through the second last turn, and hopefully we can defend off Perez and keep this race win, because Raikkonen and Rosberg are nowhere to be seen. So most likely after this race we'll be in the championship lead if we can just keep these first, second or third. As Perez goes around the outside, we give him the room to try and get the switch back through the next set of turns. We touch him, we go on the outside, we show him that we're there, but we try and go around the outside. We're there, we're nearly going to do it. We keep ourselves there, but he holds it and we have to merge, and Perez is now in the lead. As Hulkenberg goes around the outside, and it's a ballsy move. We stay side by side, and we're going to hold it around the outside, keep 2nd position, and that has hurt us in their press to get back to Perez. So could Perez get his first ever win in Formula 1? I don't know. I hope not. I hope we can spoil his party, but yeah, he's still building a bit of a lead. As we cut onto lap 17, we've actually caught up a bit. We've got no one troubling us from behind, so we can just keep our eyes forward. And as you can see through those tyres, our tyres are in optimal temperature. So we're gonna have to try and push, maybe make some gambles to try and overhaul Perez, but we've only got 1 more lap to do it. And as you see, we probably get a bit too much curb there, so we lose some time. And yep, and through here I wasn't fast all weekend. The AI was getting away from me here. I wasn't sure why, but it was pretty frustrating. Probably get a bit too much inside curve there, and probably the right amount of outside curve, but we're really close to Perez. I think we might be able to catch him. We're going to have to go through the first 4 or 5 turns. We're going to have to be really close and hopefully get some DRS off this lap. We do, so we get a little bit of advantage. We are 0.8 of a second behind, so we're not going to really get as really close with the DRS, but here we go. We brake as late as we can, get a bit of curb, but it's still a big gap. We put on DRS again, we brake as late as we can, we close up, we run a bit wide. We've hung it still right behind him. We're going to try and gain a bit going into this little bit of a chicane area, and we skip onto the middle of that lap. We couldn't catch him, so, and we're dreadful here. We run wide, get a bit too much curb, and I think Perez is going to win his first race in Formula 1. So hopefully we can hold on to second place. I'm pretty sure we will. We haven't really got that much trouble from behind, even though they're right there. They're not within DRS. I'll try and give it one more chance. But we got nothing in it. We've pretty much choked this race. We had it in the bag, but I don't know if you can pass that as a good race. We led pretty much all race except for those last 3 laps. So it's very disappointing. We're coming home in second place, and as you can see there, Raikkonen in 6th place, and Rosberg nowhere to be seen in the top 12, so he didn't gain any positions from when he qualified. I wonder if he DNF'd. I hope he didn't. Just for that rival's sake, I want him to keep his momentum. And he did DNF. And Ricciardo in 14th after he started on the front row, so that's pretty devastating as well. Felipe Nasr up to 12th after starting from 20th. That's pretty good. Sebastian Vettel having his bad luck continue for the season, but in all, wasn't really that good of a race. So we move on to the driver's standings, and as you can see, we are on top of the table, and we are 3 points in front of Rosberg, and 8 points in front of Raikkonen, and 47 behind Hamilton. So, it's been a good comeback, and hopefully we can keep on going and take out this championship. And in the driver's standings, Mercedes still out in front with Ferrari second and us still in third, Force India and Red Bull in 4th and 5th. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to smack the like button below. If you're new around here, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.